So as mentioned, Riley Shaw perhaps the favourite for this one, but also Coleman one to watch for. So clean start here as they approach the first barrier. It's O'Brien to the outside, Shaw to the inside. Also on the rail there is Coleman, our top three picks, followed by Chilcott, the Tasmanian. So defending champion is Ben Buckingham, won last year in a time of 9:02.80. Unfortunately, Ben is not here tonight, hopefully watching on the live stream. Championship record, 8:25.80, was set by Sean Crichton from Ballarat YCW in... Sorry, I haven't got a year on that one, but the most wins is shared by Bob Hendy from Collingwood Harriers and also Peter Larkins from Box Hill. They both won 6 of these championship events. So we will have a new champion tonight. None of these gentlemen have won this title before. And it is the top 3 as expected in Shaw, O'Brien, Coleman, then Dunsmore and Chilcott, Lazaro, Sykes and Blackwell. That's the order as they settle down now in this 3,000 metre journey. 35 barriers, including 7 water jumps. So a steady line now of athletes as they enter into their second lap here in the 3,000 metre steeplechase. A little bit of wind gusting around the stadium. Air temperature not too bad. Certainly not the heat wave of weekend 1. As the lead 3 have a gap of about 10 metres over Dunsmore and Chilcott. It's Shaw, Coleman, O'Brien, approaching water jump number 2. So the first 5 through and looking good. Nice clearances through the water. Not much separating this lead 3. All vying for their first steeplechase championship here of Victoria. As we see Shaw just surge through that barrier. Coleman having to make up distance on the ground. As Riley Shaw hits 5 laps to go. The Melbourne University colours, they're currently leading the HH Hunter Shield. Would have got good points there in the walk, courtesy of Jemima Montag. Hamish Beaumont is smiling. So the pace is on here from Shaw. The question now being asked of O'Brien, can he hang on to the back of Coleman? He makes that little surge, doesn't want to lose too much distance in these early laps as Coleman is sticking like glue to the back of Riley Shaw as they approach water jump number 3. So Shaw, Coleman, O'Brien cleanly over. Dunsmore in next position. Chilcott, Sykes, Lazaro and Blackwell. So James Coleman working pretty hard here to keep on the back of Riley Shaw, who looks nicely in control of events. O'Brien just drifting about 5 metres back now as they get 4 laps to go. Chilcott making a move on Dunsmore. Sykes still lurking. Then we've got Lazaro and Blackwell. So nice clearance there from Chilcott. O'Brien not losing any distance at the moment. Probably not quite as smooth over the barriers. And perhaps each barrier we're just seeing that metre go back each time for Toby O'Brien. As we see the smoothness of Riley Shaw just straight over. Coleman also looking fairly good. Up and over for O'Brien. So Riley Shaw is coming through. He'll be looking at 3 laps to go.
Riley, time to go to work, Riley.
Coleman's still in second position. So Shaw, best time 8:44.31. Coleman's an 8:59 runner. 9:04 for O'Brien. They're our top 3 and they're our 3 favourites. We see Dunsmore taking over that 4th position just ahead of Chilcott. But it looks like O'Brien now drifting about 15 to 20 metres back. So it could be a race in 2 as Coleman's doing everything he can to stay in touch with Riley Shaw. Shaw still perfect over those barriers, very clean, very smooth. 20 metres then to O'Brien, another 60 metres back to Dunsmore, Chilcott and also Sykes. So approaching the water jump here is Shaw and Coleman.
So ladies and gentlemen, just a special announcement for all of the open women shot putters. The Open Women's Shot Put competition will be rerun at 7:30 in conjunction with the Women's Under-17 Shot Put. So for all of our female shot putters, if you are still in the venue, the Women's Open Shot Put will be rerun at 7:30 in conjunction with the Under-17 Women's Shot Put.
Thanks, Glenn. And we get 2 laps to go. Riley Shaw now got a gap of about 7 to 8 metres over James Coleman. Another 25 back to O'Brien. Another 50 back, and Sykes has moved into that next position, the young man from Keolis and Bernards. So it looks like Shaw's starting to establish a bit of a winning break now. He's now up by 10 metres over Coleman. The gap to O'Brien also drifting, but he's got a big lead over the next position, which is Sykes, as we go in about 600 metres to go. So Riley Shaw looking good through the water jump. James Coleman as well. O'Brien through cleanly again with those big legs. They're all still looking strong as they come through to get the bell. It's Shaw's race to lose as they come through with about 430 to go. Coleman trying desperately to get back onto the back of Riley Shaw, but Shaw's got 1 lap to go as the bell rings. Shaw goes through. Coleman's 10 metres back still, not losing ground. O'Brien coming through now. He's got about a 30-metre gap to make up on Coleman, but he's still safe in that bronze medal position. So Coleman's still surging and trying to get back onto Shaw. Shaw cleanly over the barrier, the first barrier of the back straight. So a good run down the back straight now, and you'll sight Blackwell as someone to aim for as they move beautifully down that back straight. Riley Shaw leading. Time check's about 11:12 now. It'll be a good time without being a sparkling time. They should get them under the 9-minute mark tonight. So it's Riley Shaw leading it from James Coleman. A bit of an oops from there from O'Brien. He's getting tired, but he's still safely in 3rd position. Last water jump for Shaw. He's through smoothly. Now got a gap of about 20 metres over Coleman as he rounds out into the home straight for the last time. So this will be his first Open Championship here in the Steeplechase. He's won the 15 before, but it's going to be a Steeplechase Championship here. Riley Shaw will take it out. Melbourne University get maximum points here. James Coleman for St Stephen's. He'll hang on to 2nd, so 8:56, the unofficial time. Coleman should get under the 9 minutes. O'Brien will be close to that PB of his of 9:04, right under it, just on there, I'd say. And it looks like Sykes might be in the next position for Keolis and Bernards. So Chilcott finishing nicely. He's got a best of 9:20. Probably won't get that tonight, but this should be a big breakthrough performance, I think, for Sykes. So 9:36 is the best I've got for Sykes. He's come through in 9:24. That's a good run. Chilcott next. Dunsmore will come through next for Frankston. But just didn't have the strength over those last 2 to 3 laps where Shaw just really switched it on and looked really good over the barriers too, Riley Shaw. So it was very, very nice hurdling and also running between the hurdles for Riley Shaw that saw him win. So good run for Coleman. We'll wait for the official times. Would have been round about the 9-minute mark for him. and then Toby O'Brien. So probably the status as we thought with Shaw, Coleman, O'Brien, but a good run from Sykes. Maybe one to watch out for.